Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome back to the Owlery. Today I'm going to be giving you my mid-February wrap-up. I know that I promised we were going to go to weekly wrap-ups, but apparently my life is just too busy for that. So I'm going to try to give you wrap-ups every week, and then if that doesn't happen, we're just gonna go to mid-month wrap-ups because I read so many books. I just can't do monthly wrap-ups. They take way too long, and as always, I read a ton of books these past 2 weeks, so let's just go ahead and get started. The first two books that I read in the month of February were Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I read these for the what was that thing called? The Young Adult Booktube Awards Fantasy Live Show. And if you guys did not see it, Crooked Kingdom actually won that category. So obviously these were both very good. Crooked Kingdom was not my vote, but it was still a really, really great book. I love this duology, the characters, and that ending. I'm really hoping we get some more out of this world. I think she did mention, like the day of the live show, that she was going to be doing like a short story collection in the grocery world, so I'm really excited for that. These books were amazing, and I just love them. I think I gave them both 4 out of 5 stars. I was just very impressed with this. And speaking of the Young Adult Booktube Awards, I want to give you guys a couple of little updates on that. I have 2 forms going on right now. The first one is a feedback form, and I have some feedback from you guys, but not as much as I was hoping, and I really want to know your opinions on how the awards went and what booktubers you guys would like to see judged next year. So that form is linked down below. If you guys would fill that out, it would help me out so much make decisions for next year because there are going to be some changes and I'd really like to know your opinion on them. So I'm super excited about that. And then the other form is if you are a booktuber, preferably if you've been booktubing consistently for at least a year, fill out the second form if you are interested in possibly judging the awards next year. There are a lot of judging spots open because I have more categories and I'm just really excited about it. So if you have been a booktuber for over a year and you are interested in judging the Young Adult Booktube Awards, check out the second form below and fill that out. And I will be contacting people in the next month about judging the awards. I'm really excited. After Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, I picked up Ever the Hunted by Erin Summerall. This book takes place in a fantasy world, and our main character, her father had been murdered a couple months prior to this, and one of the king's guards sends her on a quest to track, because she's one of the best trackers in the kingdom, to track her father's murderer, and it is believed that her father's apprentice, also a boy that she used to have a relationship with, was her father's murderer. And of course, this causes a lot of problems, but she has to track her ex-boyfriend basically. And so I had a lot of really high hopes for this. The cover is gorgeous and I just was really excited, but it overwhelmingly just felt like a story that I had read before. It wasn't overly unique. I did enjoy the romance in this story, and I just thought the characters were very realistic to how people actually act in situations like this. I feel like sometimes characters and relationships, they just are very unrealistic in young adult books, but I thought this was very good. Other than that, it was really disappointing. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I also talked about this book in a live show with Chloe because this is our January book of the month for the Once Upon a Read Along. I will link that up in the eye, which is right over here, if you guys would like to check that out. We talk about all of our spoilery thoughts, and the first 5 minutes is always non-spoilery. So if you want to know more of my thoughts on this book, definitely check it out. After Ever the Hunted, I picked up Wires and Nerve by Marissa Meyer, and this is the graphic novel sequel to the Lunar Chronicles series, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. For those of you who have read the Lunar Chronicles series, the whole thing, this is perfect. If you have not read the entirety of the Lunar Chronicles series, you will be spoiled in the first 5 minutes. Literally, in the first 2 or 3 pages, you are spoiled for the entire series. So, if you have not read the entirety of the Lunar Chronicles series, read it first and then read this because it was just amazing. I loved everything that happened in this. I'm super excited there's going to be another one. It's going to be a duology. I mean, I hope there's more. I hope there's 5 bajillion of these because I would read every single one of them. And I loved it. It follows Aiko, who is the companion escort droid person that helps Cinder, and This is perfect, and it was exactly what I wanted. It was following the original series. I can't rave enough about this. I loved it. I was really worried how the Lunar Chronicle series was going to translate into graphic novel form, but it was perfect and amazing, and a great, great way to follow the Lunar Chronicle series. Also, if you are not a graphic novel reader and you're worried about this, so let me show you. I feel like you can't see the words, so it'll be really simple. So this graphic novel format is very, very, very simple. There's panel, 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 panel. Like, this is the most simplistic form of graphic novel I have seen. Like, literally the panels, or this is like just one whole page. You know, there might be panels right next to each other, but literally this is a very simple graphic novel format to follow. And so if you've read the Lunar Chronicle series, but you've never read a graphic novel and you're worried, this is so easy to read. I read some very complicated graphic novels with some very complicated panels, but this one is probably the most simplistic graphic novel I've seen published in young adult in a while. So do not fret. This is a perfect beginning graphic novel for those of you who do not read graphic novels, and it's a really great way to get into graphic novels because it's a story that you already know and love, and it's just really easy and simple. So yes, if you guys want some, like, recommendations for graphic novels or comics or anything like that, let me know down in the comments. Maybe I'll do a video about that. Then I read Maid of the King's Court by Lucy Wellesley, and this is a historical fiction young adult novel. This is following a fictional person in the real life Tudor era England. And our main character finds herself at the court of King Henry VIII as a lady-in-waiting to one of his queens, because if you guys don't know, Henry VIII was known for having his 6 wives and killing 2 of them and divorcing, and just, I mean, he was just ridiculous. But the Tudor era court and the Tudor era England is a very interesting time period for me. I felt like the romance in this story, I really couldn't connect with. It kind of like came out of nowhere there at the end. But everything else I thought was so, so good. A viewer on one of my videos for my February TBR said that Lucy Wellesley, the author of this, is like a historian, and she does like documentaries about this period of time, and so I thought that was really cool because you can definitely tell that this woman, the author, knew what she was talking about and was very well researched, and it was very true to the time period, and I really enjoyed that. I was a history major in college, so I have a little bit of knowledge about this time period, and I think she did a fantastic job. It was very well written. The only thing that kind of bugged me was, like I said, the romance. It kind of came out of nowhere, and I guess the middle of the book, you're supposed to pick up on this romance, and then it comes back at the end, and I was just like, okay, I must have missed the whole part of that, because I don't know, maybe I just missed it, or I just couldn't connect with the feelings. I don't know, but that was the only thing I didn't like about this. I believe I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And I read Roseblood by A.G. Howard, and this is a Phantom of the Opera retelling. And if you're not familiar with A.G. Howard, she also did a Alice in Wonderland retelling, the Splintered series, and I read that, and the first book was good. The second and third books, not so much. I feel like she just goes like way out there with her retellings, and this was no different. I had to DNF at about 30%. So there's 2 perspectives in this story. There's our main female character, and then our main male character, who I believe is supposed to be the Phantom of the Opera. And his perspective, oh my god, I just couldn't. I don't know what it was. It was just really, really bad. I didn't like it. This wasn't for me. If you're a huge Phantom of the Opera fan, or if you really liked A.G. Howard's Splintered series, then I think you would like this, but I just think that A.G. Howard's writing style and how she retells stories is too out there for me. It's too crazy. She takes too much privilege with the story, if that makes sense. Like, retellings are not supposed to be exact, but I feel like she just doesn't stay true to the story enough, maybe. Yeah, so I wasn't a fan. I think I gave this a 1 out of 5 stars. Then I read Bindi by Bindi Okorafor. That's not how you pronounce her name, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm sorry. So this is a science fiction short story. It's very short, and I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely fantastic. I thought it had really great representation. It it's obviously a very diverse book. Our main character is of African descent, and this is a future of our world, and it's not really known until you read the back of the book, where she does an acknowledgement section, I believe. Yeah, it's an acknowledgement section, and she talks about what types of, or what areas of our Earth kind of like inspired her to write this. So it was so good. If you're a fan of science fiction, you would love this. It's super sci-fi. The main character was really interesting. I love the way that this was written. It was all around really good. I don't think I can explain to you. Well, okay, so our main character is the very first person of her people to get accepted into this a very elite university, and no one wants her to go to this elite university, but she decides to kind of sneak away in the middle of the night and go anyway. And then this is all about her travels on the ship to the university, because stuff goes down, it gets a little bit serious, and it's really cool. I highly enjoyed this. It is definitely worth your time. This only took me an hour or two to read, and if you're a fan of science fiction, definitely give this a go. Like I said, it's so short, it doesn't take a lot of commitment, and it's so worth it. Then I picked up the second volume of Paper Girls. This is written by, I always forget, Brian K. Vaughan. And so I read the first volume for the Young Adult Book Awards, and I really, really enjoyed it. So this is basically about a group of paper delivery girls, and the first volume is about them finding the story of the century. And it's not what you expect. It's science fiction, and there's time travel, and it's really, really cool. It wasn't what I expected at all. Like, I really thought that it was going to be some kind of like drama where they find out about this scoop about like a politician, or like, I don't know, something ridiculous like that. But it's like way more ridiculous. If you're a fan of Doctor Who, I think you would really enjoy this. The four main character girls are really interesting. The first volume starts off in the 80s, and all of the girls are like 12, I believe, and it's just so good. I really enjoyed this. I believe I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then I finished Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire, and I loved this. Oh my god, I'm so happy that I picked this up. Another really short read that's definitely worth your time. So basically, this is about a school for children who went to magical worlds, like children who went to Wonderland and like Narnia, and like just all these magical worlds that you know of, right? Like, I want to say Oz and Neverland, and all these places that children go to, and then it's their life after they get back, or after they're rejected from that world for whatever reason, and them trying to cope with coming back into the real world. And so all of the children at this school have been rejected or been kicked out or had to leave their magical world, and it's them trying to recover from that and trying to assimilate back into regular life. And stuff happens. There's a little bit of a murder mystery, but it was fantastic. It is so diverse. There's racial diversity and sexual diversity, and just, I mean, every type of diversity that you could imagine. You know what? I don't remember there being a character with a disability. So I don't remember that right now. I don't believe there's a character with a disability, but there's a transgender character, there's an asexual character, there are characters of color. I mean, it was just so vastly diverse, and I really appreciated that about this story. And I mean, it's just so short, and you have to really appreciate how a story is so short and so diverse, and when you read like a 500-600 page fantasy and there's zero diversity. So you really have to appreciate how a short story can pack so much diversity into one little story and it be amazing. Like, this is a really, really good book, you guys. I can't really put my finger on why it was good, but the way that it was written, the formatting and the style, and hearing about these children coming back from their worlds. And there's a bunch of worlds that we don't know about. Like, not all of the children came from Wonderland or Oz or, the ones that we know and read about. There were a bunch of different ones that Shannon McGuire kind of had to create in her head, and I thought that was so cool, and I loved this. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. There were a couple moments where I was like, I don't know if I like this, but it was little things. I really, really enjoyed this novel. I really think everyone should read this. It was just really, really good, and that ending, it was amazing. It was just everything I wanted, so read it. Right now, I'm in the middle, or I should say the beginning, of The Valiant by Leslie Livingston. I'm only on chapter 2, so yeah, I literally just started this, but the first chapter was pretty good. can see that I might get bored with the writing style. It's not very gripping, but everyone has said amazing things about this story, about the plot, so I'm really looking forward to it. This is about female gladiators, so I've heard really, really great things about this story and this plot, so I'm definitely going to give it a try. I'm really excited about this. Razorbill sent me this, so thank you very much to Razorbill for sending me this for a complete, honest review. I will definitely be getting that to you guys very soon. Today is Valentine's Day, so I'm going to create a question of the video today, and that's going to be, what is your favorite romance that you've ever read in a book? It doesn't necessarily have to be an OTB, but a very interesting, good romance that you guys can recommend to me. Let me know down in the comments below. If you guys would like to watch my most recent video, you can click there, and if you'd like to subscribe, you can click right there. That would make me oh so happy. I would love you guys forever, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!